Check 1 2. In the place to be. Broadcasting live from San Jose, California. AC Sports Live on this 9th day of the month of April 2024. I appreciate the love, the support, the follow. If you're on the NGBN TV network, I appreciate you. Go on over to YouTube, AC Sports Live. Click subscribe, comment, be part of the show. If you're on Facebook Live, hit the like button, heart button, comment, follow. You're on LinkedIn, like, follow, all that good stuff. I appreciate you in advance. It is a marvelous Tuesday night here on the NGBN TV network. We had a very, very busy last week. We've had a lot going on. We had a very successful April 6th suicide prevention workshop. Our main man, Craig Hannum, did a great job. A fantastic job, I should say, as Rubio would say. Fantastic. Helping people understand the signs, the tips, the windows to help prevent suicide. And on that next Monday, after that Saturday, we had the First and Goal project put on by our good buddy Dave DeRochers in the beautiful city of Mission Viejo at the Coto de Casa golf course. My main man, Hello Kitty, Brian Jodis, broadcasting my main man Jason, myself, Jenna, Big Brother Ian, Dr. Hill was all in the building with all the NFL players, all the veterans. It was a great cause for veterans. A lot going on, man. A lot. Speaking of a lot, the Rubio Method is in here. It is always showtime. Nana Mona, good evening. Thank you for joining me this evening. And my main man, Big Time. I figured it out, Big Time. I was watching the Big Swagoo talk about the Cowboys. And then I heard, who did I hear? There were two brothers I heard speaking. And I said, that's a mixture of the Big Swagoo and I think it was Chris Canty. It was Chris Canty, the Big Swagoo. I said, that might be the mixture that makes the Big Time show. As far as tempo, bass, smoothness. Tonight's show, I'm gonna get in and get out. I am in San Jose. I'm taking my spring break and visiting my son as he's going through spring ball at San Jose State University. I went out to practice today, saw some good things, guys flying around, very promising team. So I'm very excited to see what they do this year. Sweet brother Noomsi's in here. Lakers just said the NBA season is over and I may not watch the playoffs for the first time in a long time. What did I miss? I haven't been watching. I've been keeping up with the NCAA game, but I have not been watching the NBA game. What do you mean it's over? They got about 5 games left, right? It can't be over, sweet brother Noomsi. Say it ain't so. The Lakers ain't gonna make it. Lakers giving up a record amount of threes. Even Draymond can't miss. Oh. You mean Hall of Famer Draymond Green? He's good, man. He's really, really good. Man, please. Big Time, Big Swagoo, ain't got nothing on Big Time. We are the NGBN TV network, and we are here to inspire men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Battling the tough subjects, the tough topics, battling men's mental health. Hello. A little adjustment right there. I got my main man, brother Leon Frazier. Frazier Shua, my brother. That's the cleanest man in the city. A little big. Yeah, he big. He huge. Tonight's show, I don't have a ton of topics. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get this 57-minute limit as we are live on the NGBN TV network, and I got to get out on a hard 57 minutes. So I'm gonna start cutting down the number of topics I have on my show. Try to get through it. Final 4. Of course, you saw the results. We'll talk about it. WrestleMania, sweet brother Noomsy. I hope you watched it. My son made me watch WrestleMania, and I was not disappointed. Tender love, I'm going to call all my referees out there. There's a time and place to make a call. To determine the game, I don't know, man. My 2 cents, Bronny, Coach Cal, my mental reps. I'm going to the book, the good book. I got a scripture for y'all. This is AC Sports Live. Let's go.
He ain't never slumber, never put him to the test. He be reigning king forever, resurrected after death. All praise to God, brother, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, all praise to the one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate Spice Adams for the quick. Yes, sir. Ha ha. Check out Spice Adams, Cream Bigums, getting ready for the playoffs. All right, man. Final 4. My UConn Huskies do it again. Number 6 for the Huskies. Did you know they were 12-1 in Final 4? That's dominating, man. Don't let UConn get to the Final 4. It's 90%. It's money. When UConn gets to the Final 4, it's a wrap. I don't know what Jim Calhoun and Kevin Ollie and all these coaches, now we got Dan Hurley. How are they getting these hoopers that nobody's ever heard of? We had a discussion the other day about all the UConn hoopers, especially the ones from New York City. What is really going on in stores? What is really going on? The mob boss, Jim Calhoun, got it all started. Ray Allen and Rip Hamilton and all them guys. It's amazing how dominating UConn has been over the years. And it was beautiful basketball, man, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Zach Edey got his points, 37, I believe, and 10 boards, and Donovan Clingan and Samson Johnson, the bigs from UConn. They held their own without help. Neither one of them fouled out. And the game plan was wonderful because the guards from Purdue couldn't get a shot off because of the length and size of the guards from UConn. In particular, the baller Tristan Newton and the freshman Castle. I mean, Castle picked up 94 feet the whole night. I don't think he came out the game. And I believe the point guard he was guarding might have scored 4 points. It was a magnificent display of disciplined basketball by the UConn Huskies. They stayed the course. They didn't panic. And I'm one who plays the perimeter, and I see a big down there going to work. I'm going back to the key, and I'm trying to rip. I didn't see that out of UConn. UConn stayed at the perimeter. It was like, no, let Zach Edey eat. These other dudes, not happening. I thought it was a beautiful display of basketball, man. If you're not going for UConn, you probably didn't like it, but I thought it was wonderful, man. Leon said, I'm tapping. Don't tell me okay, you're taping it. Don't tell the final score of the Laker game. Sweet brother Nipsey said the season's over. I got Jenna in here. AC in the house? No, Jenna is in the house. Are you back in Canada already? Are we broadcasting in Canada? I can't believe they allowed Cody to finish his story. On WrestleMania, when you saw day one, I mean, we'll get to WrestleMania in a minute. I think it was brilliant what Triple H put together, the storylines. Rodney Sauce in the building. College is over. Back to watching these Lakers play soft. Don't do him like that, man. That's LeBron. He's the GOAT, remember? LeBron's the GOAT. The Bron sexual's coming from him. UConn is 6-0 in the finals, like Michael Jordan. Uh-oh, here come the Bron sexuals. They're coming after me. They're going to come after me for saying that. Don't you say Michael Jordan was 6-0 in finals. Played 13 seasons. That means he had 7 failures. Zach had no help. That was the game plan, Leon. That was the game plan. He won't get no help, and he's going to be tired. because UConn gonna run. UConn hoopers are upperclassmen nowadays. They might come back. You figure their main players are young. Castle was a freshman player of the week, 4 times? And Tristan Newton's a sophomore. And he's still a no-name, even though he had 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Well, 7 assists and 5 rebounds. And he was going to work, but he's still not a name. He doesn't have that star quality. He's just a good player, which most UConn players are. There are some who slip through the cracks, Rip Hamilton, Ray Allen. But you figure, Khalid, Amin, and Shabazz Napier, Ben Gordon, they become okay pros, but, and you have, Kemba Walker was he was a pretty good pro for a while, but, he phased out. Now he's playing overseas, I believe. Just tough guard play. UConn specializes in tough guard play. Group says, is UConn the quietest yet one of the most dominant teams in history? I believe you can officially say blue blood, if that definition strikes a nerve, as far as joining the ranks of UCLA, Kentucky, Duke, Kansas, UConn. 6-0 in the finals of the NCAA tournament. I believe the quietest because it's so far up north and in the corner, and no one wants to go there just to visit. It's too cold. I was born in Connecticut. I know I don't go back very often, but that's my second team. Very much one of the most dominant schools in hoops, because you figure women and men's. Had they not had all those injuries on the women's side, they might be in the championship game versus South Carolina. They were playing with 6 girls. Very dominant. No, in the championship game, he was alone. He had help throughout the tournament. That's what the topic is. UConn's game plan. They're a great 3-point shooting team and a very Zach Edey dominant team. Pick one. Well, Zach Edey is only one person, and UConn has 2 bigs. And their shooters are all 5'11", 6'1". Our guards are 6'5", 6'4", 6'6". All we gotta do is hang out by the 3-point line and knock down, bat down threes, blocking them. The real is UConn had a 7'2" big who scouted Edey appropriately. He did a great job. Donovan Clingan did a great job. He didn't have a monster game offensively, but he definitely had the left shoulder of Zach Edey covered. So whenever you saw Zach go into his signature move, Clingan cut it off and made him shoot contested jump hooks. And he didn't need any help. You would thought he would be in much more foul trouble, and you would think guys would attack him more because he can't move his feet as quickly as most bigs in the NBA. But I think Hurley and the game plan they had was excellent. Like I said, I know UConn was deep. It wasn't even that they were deep. I just know they had key reserve players. They might have only played 8 players. Big Tom said to go back to back in this era of college basketball is big. Well, like Rodney Saw said, UConn has upperclassmen. And the last back-to-back champion were the Florida Gators, and they had the exact same team come back. UConn lost 3 players to the pros, and they just retooled and reorganized their starting 5. And I think they got a couple of freshmen in there. I mean, it was just a great job coaching by Dr. Hurley. I think you can now see at the big table at the Hurley house. James Mackin here. Yes, sir. Zach need to go pro. He got to go pro because he's not getting no NIL money. He's not getting no money because he is a Canadian. I did not know international players can't get NIL money, which is so hypocritical because who lives in America? Immigrants. And I always say it, as a Native American myself, 1/4 Eastern Pequot from Connecticut. My family lives on a reservation. They were here before the people of Connecticut got there. The colonizer came to Connecticut and came to places around the area and moved us off our land. We're all immigrants to a certain degree. But to say Zach Edey can't qualify for NIL money because he's from Canada? That's hypocritical to me. I think that's pretty wild to me. But he's going to go pro. He's tired of playing for the free. Whoever's recording this game and is a Laker fan, let me save you 2 hours of your life and find something else to do with your time. It's that bad, sweet brother Noomsy. It's that bad. My team are the Philadelphia 76ers. And we are, I would say, 4 out of 10 chance of doing something in the Eastern Conference. With Joel Embiid coming back this late, chemistry will be interesting. But we got Nick Nurse, not Doc Rivers, so I feel like our chances are much better than the Bucks. Praise the Lord. Tripping through transformation. Big Geek, what's up, brother? Let's go. Lakers, this was a horrible game. Y'all just got to fire Darvin Ham and start over, man. Before it's too late. Before LeBron says, yo, wherever Bronny gets picked up, that's where I'm going. I believe the plan is Bronny goes undrafted, Lakers sign him. LeBron plays 2 quarters with him, and that's a wrap. I got plug one SG Trilogy in here, my brother, my broham. I got Key in here from Philly. What's up, Key? It's too late back there. Go to bed. You got work tomorrow. Mr. Stafford's team is the Lakers. Can't you hear the hate? Can't you hear the disgust in his voice? He is not happy. AD didn't play. Tender Love didn't play. Oh, Tender Love. Come on, Tender Love. As G said, UConn had a phenomenal game plan and executed. Did not even come off of it. It was a boring game. If you're looking for diversity, if you're looking for something spontaneous to happen, the backdoor cuts, the pump fake drives, the alley oops. I mean, UConn, man. Who's beating UConn right now? UConn is beating the Charlotte Hornets and the Detroit Pistons right now. Right now. Does Edey just go straight to Europe to play since the NBA doesn't really play the true bigs? That's a great question, Rubes. It might serve him because Dwight Howard's scoring 50 points over there. And we know Dwight Howard can't score in the NBA, but over there he's scoring 50 points. If they're paying, I'm staying. But of course his dream is NBA. He wants to give it a shot, Yao Ming style. But is Zach Edey as good as Yao Ming? That will be a GM's decision to make. I got my good brother Laydon Williams in here. What up, brother? UConn is big everywhere. They had size, man. That court looks so small with UConn playing defense. Where is the open spot? Where is it? I just roll out of bed and clock in. We gotta find you a career, Key. You should not be thinking about work like that. You should be on a mission going to the job. I think Bronny is just testing his draft status. It depends on who picks him up. Ruben Garcia. What's up, Rube? What you doing up this late, man? You got school tomorrow. What you doing, man? What's going on with you? I got the Queen, Elaine Williams. Howdy. Joel looks good. Philly got a chance. I don't believe in Boston. We do have a chance. If Joel gets his act together, keep his hair braided up, don't wear a Juju man bun, we got a chance. They play under control at all times. Man, I wonder, could I play for Danny Hurley? Like, he seems so intense all the time. Does he ever have a good time? LaDon said Bronny is just testing his draft status. He's going back to school. Where is he going to school? I think Bronny's situation is a whole nother conversation. I'm gonna get to it. Edey will probably go to San Antonio and move Wemby to power forward. What are you thinking? Ralph Sampson? Was it Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon at the same time? Twin Towers? I'm a federal worker. Oh, you're making that good level G5 money. The men's game, I actually enjoyed it because I'm a UConn fan. But I believe the ratings were 4 million less than the women's game. Let's get into it. The South Carolina Lady Gamecocks put hands on America's darling, Caitlin Clark and Camila Cordoza. Oh my God. The beautiful beast. the Brazilian monster. And let's give our props to Raven Johnson. Oh my God. Did she put the clamps? Yes, Caitlyn had 30. But did she have 30 when it counted? No, she got her points early. And then Raven Johnson put hands on her. I believe there's a stat. There's a graphic going around. Yeah, Raven Johnson guarding Caitlyn Clark. She allowed 7 points, 3 of 11 shooting, 27%, and forced 4 turnovers. Sophomore Raven Johnson, defensive player of the game. This is what LSU should have done with Flo J. Johnson. Don't worry about fouling out. Make her life miserable. Outstanding game by Carolina, and props to Iowa. I mean, they played very well. Their role players played very well. But you knew the depth and the size of South Carolina would be too much. And that's kind of why I was hoping UCLA would make it, because we had 2 big girls too. And it would have been great to see Kiki Rice go against Raven Johnson. But Dawn Staley does it again. I mean, she's in the news again about her comments about letting transgender women play basketball. I think, that's a topic for another day. I think she's just saying that, and if a man who identifies as a woman feels the need to play women's basketball, he probably ain't that good anyway. If I say that, am I gonna get canceled? Am I gonna get canceled? But I think she's just like, yo, I played with dudes, because Dawn Staley played with dudes. When she played, Dawn Staley played pickup with dudes. That's why she was so tough. She's from Philadelphia. That's my girl. She said what she said. People coming after her, of course, the Trumpers coming after her. She should have stood up for women. I think she's kind of standing up for women, and she's like, bring them. It's hoop. It's not boxing. It's not mixed martial arts. If there's a transgender woman that can play, like Joanna Man, let's see. Let's see. Well, anyway, that doesn't take away from the fact that she had a great game plan, and the refs. Oh, Rodney Saws. What were the refs trying to do in the first half? You see the frustration on Dawn's face? Like, you're not going to take this from our girls, are you? You guys not going to just call four bad calls in a row. I was like, oh, man, they're doing it to us again. They're going to get us again. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. But she had to put the refs on notice early. And that's why it's important for coaches to stay in some type of proximity and relationship with the refs. Good, bad, or indifferent. Let them know I see what you're doing, or I appreciate what you're doing. Either way, there has to be some communication there. So I know Rodney probably had his share. Rodney's a fair ref. I believe, Elaine, you ref a little bit in your day. We have Dietrich, we have AC from LA, guys that are actually professional refs. And a coach that is not going to give you the work that makes you uncomfortable, you'll work with them. So if she's saying, call the game consistently. Don't do us greasy like you did UConn. So I commend her on staying on the refs, staying on her team, and not getting out of what they do. Shout out to young Tessa Johnson, who went 19-4, fresh off the bench. You get 19 off the bench, man. That's something you don't account for. And of course, Camila Cardozo had 15 points and 17 huge rebounds. She was a monster. They had no answer for her. She's going to make some team a lot better in the league. Caitlyn Clark had a monster night, 38-5. She had a couple of teammates in double figures. But at the end of the day, when you can't get easy buckets, when you don't have a big, it is not easy when it counts to get a shot off when you got somebody in your face with quick feet, lateral movement, getting it in. And that's what she saw in Raven Johnson. Let's see what the peopleization talking about. The Twin Towers didn't win. No, they didn't. I think because Samson was always injured. All those Hurleys act like little idiots on the sidelines. Okay, so it's not just Dan, it's Bobby, all of them. As G said, the marketing engine behind Bronny is serious. He can go anywhere collegiately. Is he going to play? It's all about South Carolina. Let's go. You know, I said, right, Bron said Bronny is better than a lot of NBA players. He's supposed to say that. But I don't know. I like Bronny. He's a great kid. Overcame a lot with the health situation. But let's wait. Like, we want to crown people as pros before they're pros. Like, we want to crown Caitlin Clark that she's the GOAT before she's the GOAT. And then when old heads or veterans or current players say certain players aren't as good as the media has put them out to be, it's not hating. Like Diana Taurasi saying, all right, I lost my stream. I hope I'm not, let me see, where did I lose my stream? Okay, well, as long as we're streaming to the NGB and TV, I'm good. It was almost a disaster. I'm at the hotel. My internet speed was perfect, but just a second ago, it went out. I'm back. Hopefully, it's still streaming. Welcome if you just tuned in. He said she loves Killer Cam. The revenge tour complete. Stole them cookies not once, but twice. Did you see that story? That she got cooked last year and Raven had some revenge on her mind. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. But Raven said, I'm getting my revenge. I need some cookies. Clark's game needs work. She's going to have to learn how to shoot on her right side. What she does well, she does like nobody else in the history of basketball. But let's make sure we keep everything in context. I believe we heard, I forgot who it was. She said, let's start with the ball, the men's ball, and let's then go to the three-point line. The record she has is the record she has with everything included. Let's not forget. She's great at shooting the ball and passing the ball, getting people open. But there are other aspects of the game that she's going to have to work on. She's not the GOAT yet. She got some work to do. She forced her left all night. Had her in federal prison. It should be against the law what she was doing to her. Any woman with the game played with the guys. I did. Any woman with the game played with the guys. And you got real dudes practicing against the girls at the school if that school was serious about basketball. Don has her team practice against guys, and them girls are tough. Tough ain't the word. Facts, I played with the boys. You had to. I saw questionable calls both directions by a certain official. One official. They on tape. Sparks gonna draft Brink and Cardozo. They get 2 picks. Then look out for the Sparks to be back in the mix. Carolina has 3 starting 5s. They actually do. Because Full Wiley didn't even have a good game. And Full Wiley is a monster. Full Wiley could go one and done. That's how good she is. Not that their refs' calls were wrong by rule. I just question if they fit this game. That's a good point, man. James Max said NBA seasons are longer and different from NCAA and high school. I know he's built for it. Bronny's built for it. His temperament's for it. Is someone gonna give him a chance? Because he has not had the chance to mature like Jalen Brunson or Josh Hart. I'm saying all my Villanova guys. All my Philadelphia guys who got a chance to grow and become professionals at Villanova under Jay Wright. I hope so. I would be very happy to see the Sparks, U.S. Sparks fan. Cheryl Swoops got the last laugh. It's gonna happen. Everybody, it was freezing for a second, man. It was freezing late on. Now that Clark and all her hype is going to the WNBA, does the love of the college game for women's basketball die off next year? So this is where the media must do their job. They have to create new stars. That's what we used to get in the 80s and 90s. They regrouped, gave us new people to cheer for. We knew they were going to be there 3 years. We became fans of Ray Mercer and Jerry Stackhouse and Allen Iverson and Chris Mullen and Martin Jackson and the pink knees and the guys who played Elijah Wan Drexler, all them guys that played in college at a high level. You became, when Carmelo Anthony became one of the most notable one-and-done championship players, who else played for Syracuse? Did they regroup? They had a couple of players from that team that continue to be, high profile, but it's hard, and the NBA has to do a great job creating these storylines. Sparks got number 1, got number 2, and number 4 in the draft. But very possible they can pick them girls up. That would be amazing. But yeah, I was pleased. During the season, I wasn't as involved in the men's game. I was more watching the UCLA women's play because I'm a Bruin. I'm watching UConn and all the girls get hurt. South Carolina and then the Caitlin Clark factor. Like they're making it so that she's the only reason that this year women's basketball exploded. And I think that's so unfair to all the women who play the game at a high level. To all, from the Tina Thompsons to the Lisa Leslies to Sue Burge to Stewie to Dinah Taurasi and Cheryl Swoops and Maya Moore and all these great players, Shamikla Holsclaw, all those players that have built. And then we get one player that the media says, okay, Paige Beckers is not going to stay healthy. Let's go here. And my, she's scoring the basketball. And turns out she had the talent to match the media hype. And she did her thing versus very good talent. So yes, she had a great impact on the growth. But I know one particular area that really helped this explode in our face, and that this is America, which is still a country that has two perspectives, and the great white hype idea is there. Just to see this young white girl do her thing versus everybody was polarizing. You either rooted for her and despised LSU and South Carolina type teams, or you watched to see her lose like you did the championship game where 18 million people watched to see if she was going to pull out the impossible. It's just part of it, man. When you watch, Miami versus Notre Dame, when it was the convicts versus the Catholics, that element is always there. When you see a very hood team play against a private school team, Long Beach Poly versus Mater Dei, there were so many elements where race and place and just kind of like levels of society are woven into that storyline. And it's something you have to say, well, that is a part of it. There was one situation where a black guy was really, really rooting for Caitlin Clark, almost to the point where it seemed like he was a sellout because he was rooting for her to beat the black teams. And it was just kind of like, well, if you're not aware of how you sound, then you're not aware. But you have to keep in mind that is part of the element in the room. That idea is there. And that kind of plays a big role. Iowa, of all places, I believe Iowa is about as white as Connecticut. But Connecticut has, always recruited in New York City and California. So that's interesting to think about. But that definitely plays a role. And how they keep that going, we'll have to wait and see. It kind of goes back to that statement Paige Beckers made in 2021 when she said, I'm a white girl playing in a black girl dominated sport. And I want to give them their props because they don't get the same media coverage that I get. And she said it plain as day at the ESPYs. She said that. Shout out to Paige Beckers. Rodney Saw said, to me, Brink and Cardoza do the same things on the floor. I'm taking the best perimeter player out, Cardoza. Brink is not going to be able to bang with the big girls in the paint. She's thin, but I think she'll still be effective. bang, no. Effective, yeah. I love Diana Taurasi's comment for Clark. It's, you know, it's all right. I got my stream stopped again, but I'm still streaming to the NGBN network. They won't let me be great. They won't let me be great. All right, so let me keep it moving, man. Let me take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this quick break.
You're watching the exclusive sneak peek of NGBN TV. Like never before, streaming content for men is now available, with more to come. Join us on this journey as we introduce you to content creators and shows that are here to inspire, educate, entertain, celebrate, and support men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. We can't do this without you, so please enjoy this sneak peek, but also share it with your friends and family, and help us connect with companies, organizations, brands, or nonprofits who align with our mission to save men's lives. This is the NGBN TV Sneak Peek.
Yep. And the sneak peek is almost over. So the NGBN TV network is rolling. You know who else is rolling? The all-in CDL training. CDL test. Get your Class A license with all-in CDL training. The future of commercial driving. It's rolling now, man. Students signing up every day. Guys are getting off the couch. We had a lot of people signing up, recently released from prison, getting their career started on the road. The program lasts 3 months. If you qualify for a scholarship, they have monies for those who are unemployed and need assistance. So 909-708-4861 or go to allincdltraining.com and get plugged in. You won't be disappointed. All right, WrestleMania was this weekend, and I have not been watching wrestling all that tough recently, but I have to say they did their thing. I mean, I saw a lot of guys I haven't seen in a while. I was really excited to see Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill do their thing. Seeing Black Girl Magic, Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins put on a show on the first night. They were the 2-night extravaganza, if you call it, in Philadelphia at the Link. I would have loved to have been there. It might have been a little bit cold, but the wrestling action would have kept you warm. Seeing the Money in the Bank being cashed in by Prince, Bailey, and Ayoko Scott. Technical difficulties, y'all. Appreciate you hanging in there with me, man. So I'm gonna rip through my shows. All right, so I'm losing all my connection tonight. This hotel's internet went up fine, came down fine in the test. Of course, technology sometimes fails. But the illegal screen call was the right call. But in this case, the right call can be the wrong call because you did not make the calls consistent enough throughout the season, throughout the tournament, throughout this game. And it's not a consistent call. I see people step out and I see players react in this manner all the time. Call it earlier. Kind of like pass interference in football. Call it early, call it consistent, so guys know if you're going to have a physical game, let them play early so you know this is what it's going to be today. Some officials like a clean game and they'll call stuff ticky-tack early so then you have an idea that I can't do those things later in games. This was the right call, but it robbed us of a moment. A team down by 2. So that's Tender Love this week. Again, technical difficulties, please bear with me on this as we get through the show. We got about 10 minutes left. Bronny James declares for the NBA draft after making the declaration he's going to the portal, leaving USC because USC does not have a championship culture. I could have told you that, Bronny. Go Bruins. I hear he's going to Ohio State. I believe Ladon said it earlier in the chat before we got cut off by the bad stream that he's going to Ohio State and his brother's going to join him. They're going back to Ohio where his dad is from. Testing the draft. I think we all know that Bronny's not ready for the NBA. However, with LeBron being, I believe, at the end of his contract and having the juice to sell tickets to raise the fortunes of an NBA team that needs some star power, and LeBron has made it known he wants to play with his son, it's very well possible that he will get drafted in the second round. A player that does not play very much, that has the name James, which is pretty much equivalent to Manning in football. Why not? LeBron has paved the way for his kids to have whatever they want in life. And all the purists will say he has not earned it, it's not fair to those who are earning it, or whatever it might be. Favor is not fair. Athletic ability is not fair. And you're not LeBron James. I'm not LeBron James. Leon said, I thought he was headed to SMU. We'll see. Maybe USC was too academically challenging for him. LOL. Just kidding, as that simply can't be true. It can't be true. You can buy a degree at USC. They're for sale. I know. I've heard my friends who have gone to USC have told me, work smart, not hard. If you got that kind of juice, you use that kind of juice. I'm not mad at Bronny. He should go to 4 different schools. He should go to a new school every year. Explore. Sow your royal oats. Fulfill every desire. Go everywhere you want to go, man. You're Bronny James. The world is yours. Will he ever have to worry that your dad is the only reason why you made it? Yeah, he will. But guess what? I don't think he even cares. He knows that comes with the territory. I mean, sheesh. Your dad is LeBron James. He's doing all right. I think he's doing pretty well in life. He almost can't fail. Coach Calipari is leaving Kentucky, one of the most sought-after jobs in America as far as college basketball is concerned. The one-and-done king, who only won 1 national championship for Kentucky, is moving on to Arkansas, which is going to cause the same type of domino effect that Nick Saban did when he left Alabama. So now the coaching carousel begins. Who takes the job at Kentucky? I said, I think a couple weeks ago, that Coach Cal is a great recruiter, but I'm wondering about his coaching ability. Is he able to mold and shape young players? He gets them ready for the NBA because they're already NBA talents. That's why the one and done rule is what it is. But does he make a difference in Arkansas? Well, if Arkansas gives him the resources to get the players he needs, and now it's pay for play. The NCAA just made another adjustment to the rules. You can transfer as many times as you want without losing eligibility, without losing time. So now whoever's paying the most money, kids are going to leave every year and get the money, which is unreal if you think about it. Leon said, do you think Rice shot the ball too much late in the game with UCLA? I think she forced it. A couple of the shots she was just trying. I mean, I think she got to a reverse layup and she tried to force it and it got stuffed at the rim. I wanted her shooting the ball because she's our best option. When she gets in the key, when she gets past her person guarding her, she's a great option, but sometimes she forced it. But I believe if we would have got past UConn, we would have been in the driver's seat to face South Carolina in the championship. We would have beat Iowa. I believe we had enough talent on the defensive side to hold Caitlin Clark under 30, and then our bigs would have had the same success that Cardoza had for South Carolina versus Iowa. But you never know. That's neither here nor there. We'll see how they do. I believe they're all coming back next year, so we should be very good next year. My mental rep today. I wanted to talk about turning your fear into fuel. Taking a page out of Mike Tyson's book, how he says going into every fight he was afraid. I don't think he was afraid. I just think he took that as a way to motivate himself to train, to prepare. The fear of failure will either cause you to go into a shell or cause you to prepare even more. Going to the good book, I'm going to Philippians 4. Philippians 4:6 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God." So this is saying no matter what, and I'm talking about the men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, men in particular. Once again, this is NGBN TV. We focus on men and mental health issues, situations, crisis. Don't be anxious. Me and Rubio have the late night talks when we have our events in different locations, and we talk about the things that we normally don't talk about in normal conversation. And he'll say, "What does your Jesus say about this?" And I'm like, everything that I ever encounter, there is a scripture for it. So something like fear or anxiety, apprehension, doubt, worry. Philippians 4:6, don't be anxious about anything. Why you worry about stuff? Stuff that you can't control, stuff that you can't change the outcome for. What I can do is pray. And I'm a person that believes in prayer. I know it doesn't sound very tangible to the non-believer, but from athletics to business to family to friendship, you all are in my prayers. And I expect a good outcome. And then when it's not a good outcome, I believe it is God's will that we learn from the time we don't get what we want. It's not about always getting what we want. I think we all will learn. I believe we learn more in loss. We learn more in adversity. When we get our wins, we should also be thankful for those wins. But as far as us being nervous and anxious and apprehensive and slow to react and slow to get things done because we're not sure about things, this word right here says, nah, that's not how you should be. Pray about it and go get it. You got me? Got me. I got the Doc and Chef team here. It's all about the attitude of using the fear. Does it crush you or ignite you? I hope it ignites you. I hope it gets you ready to go. Great job tonight, considering the technical difficulties, but the stuff you can't control, just like you said. Can't control it. So, dang it, hotel. And that's partly it's my fault. I'm cheap. When I travel by myself, when my wife is not with me, I don't get the 5-star hotel. I get the grimy inner city, Days Inn, La Quinta Inn, 2-star, 1 bed and a couch. But I actually have a nice spot, but the internet is bad, so I get what I get. This is what I paid for. I'm at the Days Inn in San Jose. Decent hotel, good air conditioning blowing. You see my makeshift set back here. I gotta have a set, man. That's how I roll. All right, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Dr. Frazier said, I believe you do all you can and then you turn it over to God. That's you do as a man. You do whatever's in your power. take your kid to the doctor, go talk to the teacher, go talk to the coach. But when you have done all you can, I believe the songwriter said, you just stand. All right, man. I believe the ride with Chevy and Nash is coming up next on the NGBN TV network. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with me during all this internet problem. This is why it's good to have a hard internet line. I took a chance, shot the dice, and lost. Well, it happens. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next week on the AC Sports Live show. I'm AC. Till next time, peace and blessings. I'm out.